Welcome to Boston on a beautiful night as we get ready for Game 3 of the 4-game series between the Houston Astros and the Boston Red Sox. Hi again, everybody. I'm Don Orsillo, and welcome to Red Sox Baseball. Well, the Red Sox have started incredibly well so far in 2013, and it's been all about the start. The Red Sox have been starting games very well and kind of setting the tone for games this season. They are 12-0 when scoring first, one of two teams in the majors that are undefeated when doing so. They've outscored opponents 17-3 in the first. The 17 runs are the second most they've scored in any inning, and with just 3 runs allowed in the first inning, Red Sox starters have held opponents scoreless in the first 20 of 23 games this season. 2 of the 3 games opponents did score came in the doubleheader Sunday against Kansas City. We welcome in Jerry Remy. And Jerry, a look at the lineup tonight. Will Middlebrooks, of course, back in there tonight, trying to get back on track.
Well, he's got off to a slow start for the Red Sox, but last night things may have turned around for him. He hit home run number 6 on the season last night, a changeup from Eric Bedard that he put up in the monster seats, and then later on added another hit in that ball game. So hopefully that's going to get him turned around offensively. Defensively, he's been outstanding all season long. He's only made 1 error on the season, and that came on a very wet field here at Fenway Park earlier this week. So he hasn't taken his offensive problems into the field with him. And Middlebrooks right now, I think, is ready to turn the corner down. He's had much better swings. He's swinging at strikes right now, and he does lead the club with 6 home runs.
Well, the Red Sox have been winning in bunches, and winning, well, it's fun. And the Red Sox right now are having some fun. Come back and join us for Game 3 of the series.
And starts by Lester, Buchholz, and Felix Doubront. And it's Felix Doubront on the mound tonight getting the start. And Red Sox starters have been on point this season. A major league leading 153 strikeouts. Coming also from Ryan Dempster's 10 strikeouts last night. And that brings us to our quote of the day, brought to you by Ryan Dempster, who was happy to get those strikeouts last night, but he's happy to get outs any way he can get them. He said, when you can put your fastball where you want, you end up getting ahead in the count, and that's when you can expand off of that. Strikeouts are overrated. I'm just trying to get outs, but I'll take them however I can get them. It'll be Felix Doubront on the mound tonight, looking for those outs. First pitch coming up after this quick break.
Dunkin' Donuts, Hyundai, Kia of New England, Mitsubishi, Toyota's official site for deals by Toyota.com, and by Southwest Airlines. Now the Red Sox and Astros getting ready for Game 3 of the 4-game series as the fans settle in tonight. Very comfortable conditions here tonight at Fenway Park as the Sox take the field. As they do, let's check out the Astros batting order, and it's brought to you by Jordan's Furniture. Jose Altuve leads it off at second base with Brandon Barnes in right field batting second, his first appearance of the series. Brandon Laird gets a start at first. He bats third with Chris Carter in left field in the cleanup spot. Ronnie Cedeno is the DH in the game tonight with Carlos Corporan doing the catching. Matt Dominguez back at third base. He started all 3 games so far. He's at third with Marwin Gonzalez at shortstop batting eighth, and Robbie Grossman in center field bats ninth for the Houston Astros. As for the Red Sox, tonight's starter is brought to you by Verizon Fios. Felix Dubron on the mound for his 4th start of the year. He is 2-0 with a 4.32 earned run average. He's logged 16 2/3 innings and had 21 strikeouts in those 16 2/3, and opponents hitting at .258 against Dubron.
The Red Sox defense is brought to you on Nesson by Southwest Airlines. They are 4th in the league with 8 errors in 23 games. Will Middlebrooks at third base, Stephen Drew the shortstop, Dustin Pedroia at second, and Mike Napoli the first baseman. Left to right, Mike Karp, Jacoby Ellsbury, and Daniel Nava, and Jared Saltalamacchia doing the catching for Felix Dubron.
Well, the umpiring crew, Marvin Hudson has a play tonight calling the balls and strikes with Jordan Baker at first base. The crew chief, Tim McClelland at second base, and Jerry Meals is the umpire at third. Tonight's game is available in Spanish by pushing the SAP button on your television remote. Enjoy the game.
Buenas noches, amigos.
Again, very comfortable temperature here at Fenway Park to get it started. 58 degrees, breeze out right to left across the outfield at 12 miles per hour, and the forecast is for clear skies and not a cloud in the sky right now. Lights are on here at Fenway as the fans settle into Fenway Park for the 3rd game of this series.
El Dubron coming off a start where he picked up a win against the Oakland Athletics. In that game, when a season high 6 2/3 innings, giving up 3 earned runs. Problem is, he had 5 walks in that game with 8 strikeouts and threw 113 pitches. But Dubron on the season 2-0 with a 4.32 ERA, as Don mentioned earlier.
Dubron trying to cut down on pitches thrown early in outings. As Jose Altuve stands in here to get it started for Houston. 348 average with a home run, 11 runs batted in, and he's leading off as he takes ball 1, and we are underway. Altuve, one of the few Astros who really has put together a very good beginning to the season. This is line to left field and a base hit for Altuve. So a good start for the Astros as Altuve is aboard to begin things. Now tonight's pitching cold hard facts are brought to you by Coors Light. Coming into tonight's game, Red Sox pitchers have struck out 232 batters this year, a new team record for most Ks in a single month. Detroit's Anibal Sanchez is the 3rd pitcher to strike out since 1900 to strike out 17 batters in 8 innings or less, joining Johan Santana and Randy Johnson. And there have been a record 6 no-hitters thrown on today's date in Major League history. Felix Dubron will not have a chance to have a no-hitter tonight as he gives up a leadoff single to Altuve. And they'll check on him at first base.
Altuve is off to a great start. 348 coming into the game. First at bat, base hit, line drive to left field.
One of those no-hitters on this date 11 years ago was Derek Lowe against the Tampa Bay Devil Rays, as they were known then. Brandon Barnes with his first appearance of the series, the right fielder. And that's called a ball. Barnes last started on Wednesday against Seattle. He's got a 4-game hitting streak coming in. Was 2 for 4 in that game. Plays all 3 outfield positions, but getting the start in right field tonight. In the dirt and gathered by Saltalamacchia. Well, Jared back there tonight after a big night last night for David Ross, getting the start in behind the dish for Boston last night.
Well, the life of a backup catcher, right? You have a big night offensively, 2 home runs, plus 2 more hits. And tonight, you're watching from the sidelines. Altuve with a couple of steals on the season, been caught 1 time.
Another check and Altuve back to the bag. Barnes ahead in the count, 2-0. It's Dubron from the stretch. And a swing and a foul tip, 2-1.
It's not the kind of pitch you really want to swing at when the count's in your favor. 2 balls and no strikes. It was a fastball down and away from Barnes. Usually in those situations, a hitter's looking at fastball middle in.
Runner goes, and this is fouled off to the right. Now Altuve that time was in motion.
Had a very good jump at first base too, off Felix Dubron. As soon as there was movement from Dubron, Altuve was off for second base, but the ball fouled off.
Bo Porter, the manager of this Astros team, they come in at 7-16 to begin the year and find themselves 9 games back of the Texas Rangers in the American League West. First go around here in the American League. And they have lost 2 straight after taking 2 out of 3 from the Seattle Mariners. 2-2 pitch is going to hit him. Pitch into Barnes, and first 2 Astros have reached here in the first inning.
Now Dubron throwing that fastball right at the feet of Barnes, and Barnes had no place to go. So right away a meeting between Saltalamacchia and Felix Dubron. Right off that left foot.
First batter that Dubron has hit this season. And all of a sudden the Astros have runners at first and second. Nobody out for Brandon Laird. Laird got the start at first base as well. 238 with 2 homers and 5 runs batted in. And a great spring for the Astros as a non-roster invitee, and hit .328 during the spring. 5 home runs. Outside for ball 1.
A good speed at second base, and with a left-hander on the mound, wouldn't surprise me at all to see a double steal. Try to put some pressure on the Red Sox. Pedroia keeping Altuve as close as possible.
Well, that's not close up and away, and it's 2-0. And again, Saltalamacchia out to talk to Dubron, who's shaking his head right now. A single for Altuve to start it. He hits Barnes and now falls behind Laird. 2-0. Dunkin' Donuts is proud to support the One Fun Boston. Next time you grab coffee at your local Dunkin' Donuts, please donate $1 to the One Fun Boston. 100% of the donations will help support those most affected by the Boston Marathon tragedy. To learn more, please visit www.onefunboston.org. 2 on and nobody out. Here's a 2-0. That'll get away from Saltalamacchia, and the runners can move along. Now Altuve to third and Barnes to second with nobody out.
Right now, Dubron not even close with anything. He's tried a couple of curveballs that haven't worked. The last fastball hit somebody. This fastball gets by Saltalamacchia, and Dubront right now having a tough time getting in any kind of groove at all.
Wild pitch rule that allows Barnes to get to second, Altuve to third. That's a strike. 3-1. Kind of a mock cheer goes up here at Fenway. That's ball 4, and down to first base goes Laird. So a single, a hit batter, and now a walk have the bases loaded. Well, the Astros here in the first inning and a chance to do some damage. Bases filled with Astros, and Chris Carter the batter.
Well, the Red Sox have had success against Carter when they've kept the ball away from him, but when they come inside, that's when he does damage.
1 for 3 with a walk and a double last night. He's got a 5-game hitting streak coming in. And he takes ball 1 in. Dubront has thrown 13 pitches, but only 4 for strikes. Two and 0. Altuve at third base, Barnes at second base, and Laird at first base. 2-0. And that's in there for a strike. 2-1.
Looked like Carter was taking all the way too on that 2-0 fastball from Dubront.
Three and 1. Carter taking, and he takes strike 2.
That time Carter looking for the ball middle in, didn't get it. Fastball away and takes it on the 3-1 count.
Outside ball 40, walks in a run. Altuve from third base, and the Astros take a 1-0 lead. Juan Nieves, the pitching coach, headed to the mound. So an RBI for Chris Carter puts the Astros on top 1-0. I'll be sure and join Jenny tomorrow on the Ultimate Red Sox Show.
And check out the Red Sox Academy tomorrow at 12 o'clock.
That's brought to you by AAA. Ronnie Cedeno hitting at .333 with a home run. 6 runs batted in. Fly ball to center field as Ellsbury trots in a step or two. Tagging up at third will be Barnes. Ellsbury makes the catch. And to the plate comes Barnes, and the Astros take a 2-0 advantage. So a sac fly for Ronnie Cedeno picks up his 7th RBI. And there is the first out here for Dubront.
Yeah, take him any way you can get him right now. Try to minimize the damage here in the first inning. Ellsbury not that deep, but then backtracked a couple of steps. And once the third base coach saw that, tag at third and score.
There's Carlos Corcoran, his first appearance of the series, hitting at .278. No homers and a run batted in. Corcoran takes ball one. Astros have been pretty patient, with the exception of Ronnie Cedeno. Flies out to center field, does pick up an RBI, but they've been patient with Dubron, and Dubron having a tough time finding the strike zone. 20 pitches and 7 strikes so far for the Red Sox left-handed starter.
And right now, because of the way that he's pitching, anything close really is not going to go in his direction.
Certainly not getting anything at the bottom of the strike zone so far. Yes, he falls behind here 3-0. Marvin Hudson has the plate tonight for the umpires. And that's ball 4. Down to first base goes Corcoran. Third walk of the inning given up by Dubron, and the bases are reloaded.
Yeah, 3 walks and a hit batter here in the first inning to go along with a base hit and a sacrifice fly. And Dubron just doesn't look like he's loose in this game.
Bases loaded, 1 out, and Matt Dominguez coming up. We'll see the breakdown so far for Felix. Dominguez at .263, no homers and 7 runs batted in. There's strike 1. Only other batter that has taken a first pitch strike was Cedeno, who swung at the first pitch and flied out to center field. The 0-1 has popped up in the infield left side. Stephen Drew makes the catch for the second out of the inning. Infield fly rule was in effect. 2 down.
Well, if Dubron and the Red Sox can get out of this first inning with just 2 runs, they are very, very fortunate. 1 more big out to go.
Marwin Gonzalez will be the batter. He bats 8th in the order here for the Astros. 308, 3 homers and 7 runs batted in. In there for strike 1. Strike 2, and all of a sudden DeBron's starting to find it here a little bit late in this first inning.
That's the first time tonight that he's had a real feel for that curveball. The other couple that he's thrown were not even close. But a good snap to this breaking ball right here.
.02 to Marwin Gonzalez. Swing and a foul. Third base is Laird, Carter at second base, and Corcoran at first base. With 2 outs here in the first inning and 2 runs in for the Astros right out of the gate tonight. Inside, 1-2. 30th pitch of this first inning coming up for Felix Dubron. And it's a foul back into the seats.
That's a good pitch there from Dubron away, but a very good job by Gonzalez to foul that pitch off. Too close to take. It might have been strike 3, and a tough pitch to hit. Reaching out, fouling it off, and giving himself another chance after a very tough pitch.
Third time this season Dubron has had 30 or more pitches in an inning. There's 1-2. Gonzalez strikes out and Felix gets out of it. He does give up 2 runs, but it could have been a lot more. Sox are coming up. A 2-0 lead over the Red Sox tonight. The Bruins are in Washington taking on the Capitals, and they have a 1-0 lead as Milan Lucic has scored for Boston. Let's check out the Red Sox starting lineup. It is brought to you by New England Chevy dealers. Jacoby Ellsbury in center field. With Daniel Nava in right field. It's Dustin Pedroia at second base, batting third. David Ortiz at DH in the cleanup spot with Mike Napoli at first base. Mike Carp is in left field as he bats sixth with Jared Saltalamacchia doing the catching. Last 4 games at .333. Will Middlebrooks at third base is eighth, and Stephen Drew rounds out the starting 9 tonight for the Red Sox. On the mound for the Astros, Brad Peacock, his 5th start. He's 1-2 with a 7.50 earned run average. The starting staff for the Astros has really had a tough time, and he is one of them. 16 strikeouts, 8 walks. Opponents hitting at .274 against Peacock so far this season.
The defense tonight for the Houston Astros. They're 7th in the league with 13 errors in 23 games. Matt Dominguez at third base. Marwin Gonzalez, the shortstop. Jose Altuve at second base, and Brandon Laird, the first baseman. Left to right, Chris Carter, Robbie Grossman, and Brandon Barnes. And Carlos Corcoran doing the catching for Peacock.
So Jacoby Ellsbury leads it off here. Red Sox trailing 2-0 as they come to bat for the first time. And Ellsbury takes a pitch for ball 1. Jacoby off to a .287 start on the season with a home run and 9 runs batted in. There's a strike, 1-1. Jacoby leading the majors in stolen bases with 11 steals so far. He's yet to be caught on the year. And 3 for 10 so far in this series as he sends one foul off to the left.
Fastball right now averaging about 92 miles an hour for Peacock. All fastballs, all 3 pitches Jacoby's seen so far.
Too far outside, 2-2. Ellsbury's hit safely in 20 of 23 games this year. And grounds a 2-2 pitch at Altuve at second base. One down. Oh, the Sox and Bruins both in action tonight. You can watch the Sox and Astros here on NESN and follow the Bruins game against Washington on NESN Plus. To find your NESN Plus channel, visit NESN.com/NESN Plus. One down here in the first inning for Daniel Nava. Nava getting the start in right field, hitting at .290, 4 homers and 15 runs batted in. And there is strike one. Nava 0 for his last 7 at the plate, and in this series against the Astros. Close pitch for Peacock, but too low, apparently. 1-1. For Peacock tonight, his 8th major league appearance, his 7th start in the big leagues. In those appearances, 3-2, with a 4.71 earned run average in his major league career. First career appearance against the Red Sox. Framed that time by Corcoran, but it's outside. Dustin Pedroia waiting on deck with 1 out here in the first inning. Nava lines to first, and Laird able to make the catch. Bit of a snow cone, but he holds on for the second out of the first inning.
Yeah, ball shot very well by Daniel Nava on a line, and you can see a little bit off the line right there is Laird, but able to make that one crossover step and right in the webbing of the glove. Sometimes those balls are hit out there like knuckleballs and are hard to handle.
2 down in the first inning for Dustin Pedroia. 318, no homers, 9 runs batted in. And Dustin takes strike one.
Nobody in this Red Sox lineup has faced Peacock in the past, so this first time around getting a good look at him. Wood spreads throughout the dugout.
Line to right and in for a base hit for Pedroia. Red Sox with their first base runner of the night.
That's now a 5-game hitting streak for Pedroia as he gets the fastball at 92 and takes it to the opposite field. We've seen a lot of opposite field hitting by Pedroia here early in the season.
Now 2 down with Pedroia at first, and here's David Ortiz, part of our key matchup brought to you by Acura. And David hitting a cool .692 against right-handed pitching so far in 2013. It includes 2 doubles, 2 homers, and 5 runs batted in. Overall this year, against lefties and righties, he is 12 for 24 and hitting at .500 to begin tonight's action. David takes ball 1. Home runs in each of the last 2 games.
They do not go into the complete shift on David in the infield. They are playing him strictly to pull, but shortstop on the shortstop side of second base.
Throw to first, and Pedroia back to the bag. That's as deep as you'll see a center fielder play here at Fenway Park.
Yeah, the whole outfield pretty deep. Left field, center field, and right field. And slightly shading David to the opposite field in the outfield.
Ortiz pulls the bat back and takes strike one. As Corcoran heads out to talk to Peacock. Beth Israel Deaconess Medical Center, the official hospital of the Boston Red Sox, never forgets that before you're a patient, you're a person. Beth Israel Deaconess, human first. Learn more at bidmc.org/human first. 2 down here in the first, and Dustin Pedroia at first base. David Ortiz with a count of 1-1. And a swing and a miss.
Back-to-back changeups from Peacock. One that David attempted to bunt at. This one, the swing and miss.
Ortiz doesn't miss this. He lines it into left center field for a base hit. Heading for third is Pedroia. A little bobble by Grossman in center. And Dustin has no problem getting to third base.
And that's probably going to go as a base hit and an error on the center field Grossman, because it looked to me like Pedroia was going to stop at second base in scoring position. There's that line drive out to the center field. Grossman bobbles it. Then Pedroia takes off to go to third base. So that should be a base hit and an error on the center fielder. We'll see how they score it.
It is a base hit and an error. So first and third with 2 down, and Mike Napoli the batter. Napoli at .283, 4 home runs and 27 runs batted in. There's the most RBIs in the majors, as he takes ball 1 away. It's 3 more than Chris Davis in the American League, and 5 more than Prince Fielder. John Buck is first in the National League with 22. For the New York Mets so far this season, the 1-0. Swing and a miss. That one's by him at 92 miles an hour. Red Sox trying to get something done here with 2 down in the inning after the Astros scored twice in the top half of this inning. That one framed by Corcoran, but it's ball 2. Napoli rips this down the left field line, a foul ball. Finds what little foul ground there is down that left field line.
Just a little bit out in front of that changeup, the off-speed pitch. Changeup right down the middle of the plate. You're going to watch this ball hook and just hook into foul territory.
That'll drop in there for strike 3. Nasty curveball there freezes Napoli. Red Sox strand a pair, trailing 2-0. The lead over the Red Sox as we head to inning number 2 as Robbie Grossman, only member of the Astros not to bat in the first inning, leads it off here in the second, and a first pitch strike in there from Felix Dubron. Grossman hitting at 154. He's 2 for 13 so far in the season. And a grounder softly down the third baseline as Middlebrooks charges in and fires to first. Looked like Dubron was going to get in the way there initially, but he clears the zone, and Middlebrooks comes in to fire to first.
Yeah, I think maybe Middlebrooks might have called him off this ball because it did look like Felix was going to try to make the play on this, but it's going to be Middlebrooks with the bare hand, and that's a nice play because momentum for Middlebrooks going toward home plate. You have to open up to make that throw to first base. He does it accurately, and they get the out. Kind of highlighted in our open tonight the good defense that Middlebrooks has been playing down at third base.
This is in the air down the right field line towards the pole, but it will be foul. And off the bat of Jose Altuve. Yeah, I guess, Jerry, it'd be relatively easy if you're struggling at the plate to carry it into the field with you, and he just hasn't.
No, he hasn't. He made that one error on a bad night here, a very wet night at Fenway Park, and that's been it.
Altuve, did he punch at it? Yes, he did. Jordan Baker, first base umpire, said he offered, and it's 0-2. I don't know.
I don't think so.
That'll bounce in, and it's a ball and 2 strikes to Altuve. Low and away, 2-2. The Astros sent 8 men to bat in the first inning. 2 of them scored. It really could have been a lot worse. You take into consideration Dubron walked 3 and hit a batter in the first inning, but the Astros get 2 runs as it is, and that is strike 3 over the inside corner. Second strikeout for Dubron, 2 down.
And Dubron does a nice job, going away with the previous pitch, a 2-seamer, then coming back inside to pick up the strikeout on a 4-seam fastball. The Pitch Zone on NESN is brought to you by Amica. Amica Insurance. Great service, great coverage, and great price for auto, home, or life insurance.
2 down for Brandon Barnes, who was hit by a pitch in the first inning. Here's a high fly ball down the left field line that is foul. But a long way out of here to the left, so you get out ahead of that. The Astros have lacked timely hitting in this series. They are 0 for 2 so far tonight with runners in scoring position, and last night they were 0 for 12 in that category for Bo Porter. Rolled over foul, 1-2 to Brandon Barnes.
And looks like Dubron has picked up his pace a little bit here in the second inning. Trying to find a groove in this game.
Thought he had strike 3 as he hopped off the mound, but it's ball 2, 2-2. Now time called. Beach ball has come on the field out in center field, so they will run that down. Two-two pitch. Up and away, not close, and a full count now to Brandon Barnes. Brandon Laird waiting on deck here for the Astros as they bat in the top half of the second inning. That is ball 4, and down to first base goes Barnes. There's the 4th walk given up by Felix Dubron of his outing. Well, Gulf Oil is proud to be the official electricity provider of the Boston Red Sox. 2 down here in the 2nd inning. Barnes at first base, and Brandon Laird, the batter. He walked in the 1st inning and was stranded at 3rd base by the Astros. Swinging a foul tip for strike 1. Laird called up last Thursday from Oklahoma City. 4th career stint in the majors for Laird. He was a September call up last year for Houston. His prior 2 stints actually came as a member of the Yankees. He will ground this one foul outside of 3rd and is down 0-2. At .328 during the spring for the Astros. In the lineup tonight, a .325 hitter so far against left-handed pitching. And he'll take strike 3 to end the inning. 3rd strikeout for Felix Dubron. We head to the bottom of the 2nd. As the Astros have jumped out to a 2-0 advantage. They get a pair of runs in their half of the 1st inning, and here come the Sox in the 2nd. Mike Carp, Jared Saltalamacchia, and Will Middlebrooks to bat in the inning as Carp gets another start for the Red Sox. He is 8 for 16 so far in a Red Sox uniform, and has been impressive in any opportunity he's had to play for the Red Sox, and back in there again tonight, getting the start in left field. Peacock got out of a jam in the 1st. Red Sox had runners at the corners with 2 down, but he was able to strike out Mike Napoli on a curveball to end the 1st inning. He went looking as Carp dribbles one down the first base line, but Peacock will fire to 1st for the out. It's time for some fan stories with Jenny Dell.
Don, I'm here in the fan section over here at Fenway Park, and I'm here joined by Laura and Bradley. And you have a pretty special story of how you met. Please share it with us.
Absolutely. 5 years ago, 2 friends of ours decided that they were going to introduce us, and we ended up being introduced here at Fenway Park. And since then, we are married. We have a absolutely handsome son. And we actually have another one on the way, which our friends don't know about. But hey, if they're watching now, they know we got another one coming on.
Well, very congratulations and surprise everyone who didn't know. And you said you come every year. It's been 5 years as a special anniversary. What is it about coming to Fenway Park that makes it so special for you?
It's Fenway. It brings people together. Everybody comes here. They love coming here. I mean, you can't get a better environment than this. So we wouldn't
have met if not for this. They kept trying to get us together, and they never succeeded until they got us here. So.
And the passion for the Sox, it also expands to the dog, correct? We have a special dog name?
Yes, we have a dog. His name is Pesky, named after the great Johnny Pesky. When we were getting him, so many people would sit there and say, let's name him Brady or Brewski. No. Let's name it after something awesome, and let's name him Pesky. So Johnny Pesky. You have a dog named after you. Congratulations.
I'm sure he has a few of those. Thank you so much for being our fans of the game. And for fans at home, if you have a great story to tell why you're coming to Fenway Park, go to nesson.com/stories and let us know why.
All right, Jay, thank you very much. I bet a lot of blind dates come here to Fenway Park.
Think so?
I bet you there's a lot of dates here.
I don't know. I couldn't answer that question.
Because if it doesn't go well, you can still watch the game.
You can go to some different section.
Right. Saltalamacchia will take the walk and head down to first base. First walk served up by Peacock of his outing. And the Red Sox have a base runner here in the second inning.
Seen a lot of proposals here at Fenway Park over the years. Just don't know how those have turned out, But hopefully all are okay and continue on.
1 out, 1 on. Will Middlebrooks is coming up. Middlebrooks at 184 with 6 home runs and 12 runs batted in. Middlebrooks takes strike 1 with his 6th home run of the year last night. So back to back with David Ross in the 4th inning. His 6 home runs lead the team, tied for 6th in the American League in that category. Low and away, 1-1. Saltalamacchia held on by Brandon Laird at first base. Middlebrooks in the air to deep left field. Carter going back, looking up, and it is high off the wall. Ricochet to Carter. Saltalamacchia will be stopped at third. It is a high wall ball double for Will Middlebrooks, who almost got it out of here. It is second and third now with 1 out.
Yeah, that was almost number 7 on the season for Middlebrooks. Once again, they come inside, and that's where Middlebrooks likes the baseball. Middle in, and just missed the home run by about a foot. Saltalamacchia made a good read on it. He was running hot all the way, but they did have to hold him up at third base as the ball was played pretty well out there by Carter off that left field wall.
16 hits to match the number on the back of his jersey this season, and 9 are for extra bases. Second and third, 1 out, and Stephen Drew, the batter. Drew's now started 14 of the last 17 Red Sox games since coming off the 7-day concussion DL on the 10th of April. Began the season on the DL. In there for a strike, and it's 1-1.
Now Johnny Gomes showing Middlebrooks that he missed by about a foot. Not quite Boston strong right there, right? Just missed by a foot.
That's up and away, and it's 2-1 now to Drew. Drew had a big 2-run triple on Wednesday against the Oakland A's. And trying to get it going offensively. Ball 3-1. Backing out, and now the catcher Corcoran headed out to talk to Peacock. Now this year the Red Sox will celebrate the 60th anniversary of their partnership with the Jimmy Fund. We salute sponsors like H.B. Hood, who help make the Jimmy Fund a major beneficiary of the Red Sox Foundation. Astros have a 2-0 advantage. The Red Sox have runners at second and third, 1 out. Stephen Drew ahead in the count, 3-1. And Peacock with a long conversation with his catcher Carlos Corcoran, and they're ready to go to work now. In there for strike 2, full count.
And no fastball that time for Drew on the 3-1 count. The changeup from Peacock, and a pretty good one. It just actually not looking for that kind of pitch on a 3-1 count. Why swing at it?
Drew swings at this and fouls it back.
And doubles up on the changeup. 3-1, 3-2, both off-speed pitches.
'40th pitch for Brad Peacock of his outing. And Drew will take the walk down to first base. Base is now loaded. Second walk of the inning allowed by Peacock. Here comes Jacoby Ellsbury with a chance to do some damage here in the second inning. Jacoby grounded out to Jose Altuve at second base in the first inning. In there for strike 1. This is the 30th at bat of the season for the Red Sox with the bases loaded. That is the second highest mark in the majors, trailing only the Cincinnati Reds in that category. Ellsbury fights it off foul, down 0-2.
Jacoby missed a good pitch right there. Fastball right down the middle. Like to have that one back again.
This is in the air to shallow left center and drops for a base hit. From third comes Saltalamacchia. Middlebrook's going to try and score. Throws offline. Red Sox tie the game at 2 aside. Jacoby Ellsbury drives in 2.
Well, you could see there where the catcher was set up. They wanted to go way inside against Ellsbury, but the ball tails back out over the middle of the plate, and Ellsbury with the inside-out swing drops it into left field for the base hit. Butterfield waving around. Middlebrooks, he scores with no problem, no slide. And Ellsbury picks up 2 RBIs. His 10th and 11th of the season.
Two on, 1 away, and Daniel Nava, the battery, lined out to first base in the first inning. Sharply hit, but Brandon Laird able to snare it at first. There's strike 1. Fifth start of the year for Brad Peacock. The first runs that he's allowed in the second inning in any of his outings. And he's walked 2 in this inning. First walk to Saltalamacchia turns into a run. His 45th pitch is an 0-1. And it's lined down the right field line, foul. The grounds crew was darting out of the way, but a nice grab.
She saved the grounds crew, didn't she?
Yes, she did. Nava hits on the ground. Altuve laying it out from his knees. The throw is in time to get Nava. The runners will move along, but a nice play by Altuve at second base.
Yeah, a lot of times, you know, as a middle infielder, when you see them call the breaking ball with a left-handed hitter up, you think that he's probably going to pull the ball, so you're leaning a little bit in that direction. And that time, Altuve leaning and the dive gets Nava at first base. He's a nice player, isn't he? He's done a nice job in this series, swinging the bat, playing second base.
The Astros do not have a lot of players that are exciting. I'll put it that way, but he is certainly one of them. He's been fun to watch so far.
He has been.
Both offensively and defensively. There is Dustin Pedroia, who singled in the first inning. One of 4 hits now for the Red Sox.
What number, Naples?
Well, the Astros had a 2-run lead. Red Sox have erased that. It is now 2-2 with 2 outs here in the bottom of the second inning. Well, the Bruins have jumped on top 2-0. Andrew Ferentz has scored for Boston.
Hey, David, that kid hit it out of the park twice last night on the street.
2-0. Drew at third, Ellsbury at second with 2 outs here in the bottom of the second inning. No drop in there for strike 1.
Yeah, Pedroia that time, you know, 2 balls, no strikes, sitting on a fastball, does not get it and takes it. Got the breaking ball and a good one.
Back to the fastball that time, and that just missed. Peacock wanted to know where that was. 3-1. And Peacock about to throw his 30th pitch of the inning. is ball 4, and down to first base goes Pedroia. Third walk of the inning given up by Peacock, and the bases are loaded again.
Well, it was Dubron who had walk problems in the first inning. It's a second inning for Peacock.
Doug Roquel, the pitching coach, headed to the mound here. The base is loaded, 2-out situation, and Big Papi coming up. Well, stay with us, and after the game for WB Mason Extra Innings Live, Hall of Famer Jim Rice will be in studio to help TC break down tonight's action, along with clubhouse reaction and John Farrell's post-game press conference. WB Mason Extra Innings Live. Can't go wrong when you buy right. WB Mason. Well, David Ortiz with a single in the first inning is 1 for 1 so far tonight, as comes up with a golden opportunity to put the Red Sox on top in the midst of a 2-2 game here in the bottom of the second inning. Ball 1. $11 grand slams for David Ortiz in his career. Line to left, and this is going to get in. To the track in the wall as Drew will score. Ellsbury will score. And the Red Sox take a 4-2 lead. It's a 2-run double for David Ortiz.
Well, you know, we keep saying it, and with more at-bats, it gets better and better. Ortiz just hitting the ball where it's pitched. That ball down and away, doesn't try to pull it, slices it to the opposite field on the line. 2 runs come around. You know, most guys, when they just get back, like Ortiz, a lot of times they get pull crazy, try to pull that ball, and results a ground ball at second base. Not for Ortiz. He goes the other way, drives in 2 runs.
Well, the 5th time the Red Sox have batted around this season. Here's Mike Napoli. The strikeout in his only at bat of the night. And a grounder down the third baseline, foul. Now the walks have been very costly for Peacock in the inning. He has walked 3. 2 of them have scored. Along with that, he has now allowed 3 hits in the inning. Red Sox went from a 2-run deficit to a 2-run lead. Here's an 0-1 pitch. 1-1. Now Houston last with a 5.41 earned run average. That is last in the majors. And their starting staff, you take a look at their numbers, and they're all with 6 and 7 earned run averages coming into this outing tonight. Peacock with a 7.50. 1-1 will miss up top again. 2-1. It's been a 35 pitch inning for Peacock. Mike Karp, who grounded out to begin the inning, waits on deck. Ball 3. Fourth 3-ball count of the inning for Peacock. Outfield deep and straight away on Mike Napoli. Chance to do more damage for Napoli, who leads the majors with 27 RBIs coming in. Ball 4. Fourth walk of the inning given up by Peacock. Reloads the bases. Now Mike Carp, who grounded back to the mound here in the second inning, gets his second at bat of the inning. And Carp fooled on the first pitch, a swing and a miss. One grand slam for Mike Carp in his career. Nobody getting that low strike tonight from Marvin Hudson.
Well, you're going to have to show Marvin Hudson that you can throw strikes, first of all, and then you might get it. A lot of walks early in this ball game.
And 4 for Peacock and 4 for Dubron. That went by him. Fastball 1-2.
2 swings and misses by Carp in this at bat. One on a changeup. This time the fastball on the outside part of the plate. The changeup was actually inside.
Well, Carp stays alive as he gets a piece. Jared Saltalamacchia waiting on deck. 10 members of the Red Sox have now batted in the second inning, and so far 4 of them have scored. There's a 1-2 pitch. And Carp strikes out to end the inning, but the Red Sox put a 4 spot on the board in the bottom of the second. And a 2-run lead at the end of 2. Across the globe is a proud sponsor of the Red Sox Foundation. 4-2. Red Sox now on top as they score 4 times in the bottom of the second inning. And Chris Carter leading it off here for the Astros. Felix Dubron's now got a lead, a 2-run lead as he takes over here in the 3rd inning, and has walked 4 and hit a batter through the first 2 innings, and jumps ahead of Carter 0-2. Seemed to have a bounce back inning in the 2nd inning, struck out 2 batters. And trying to bounce back here in the 3rd as he had a very tough first inning. Really got out of it as he strikes out Carter to begin things here in the 3rd inning. Let's send it down to Jenny.
Well, Don, today's AT&T Twitter question is about strikeouts, as Felix Dubron just struck him out. Red Sox pitchers have now struck out a club record number of opposing batters for 1 month to start this season. Do you, the fan, feel strikeouts are a barometer of how well a pitcher or pitching staff are faring? Send us your tweets using the hashtag SoxStrike3, and we'll reveal the best ones later in the game.
All right, Jay, thanks very much. As a pitch down low to Ronnie Cedeno. A sac fly in the 1st inning. First appearance of the series. He's the DH. Ends a streak of 7 straight first pitch strikes for Dubron. Gets one there, though, and it is 1-1. Cedeno with a swing and a miss, 1-2.
Very good changeup that time from Dubron. Good late action on it as it dipped it down and actually out of the strike zone.
Did he go? Yes, he did. Rung up by Baker. The first base umpire, and it's back-to-back Ks for Dubron. In fact, 3 in a row. 2 down.
Fastball, curveball, and fastball again. The 3 strikeouts in a row for Dubron. After the changeup, goes to the fastball inside, and clearly a swing that time by Cedeno, breaking the wrists.
Well, he struck out 4 of the last 5 batters. Has 2 outs in the 3rd inning, and here's Carlos Corcoran. He walked in the 1st inning. There's strike 1. Just appeared in that 1st inning, Jerry. Felix Dubron was just not ready, it seemed.
Yeah, and he was very slow between pitches. In the 2nd and 3rd inning, he's picked up his pace. He's getting the ball and getting right back to the rubber, and his control has got much better.
Inside corner, 1-2. A little bit low, 2-2. Dubron 2-0 with a 4.32 earned run average coming into this, his 4th start of the year. And a swing and a miss, strikes out the side in order. That's 6 strikeouts for Dubron. 2.5 done, 4-2 Sox. And a trade here, Jerry. Lobsters for hot dogs, and we're only 24 hours away from Main Day here at Fenway Park.
Yeah, Main Day tomorrow here at the old ballpark, and that'd be a pretty good trade, I would think.
I would take that.
Take that trade, lobster for hot dog.
You got it. Well, the Red Sox coming to bat here in the bottom of the third inning. Saltalamacchia, Middlebrooks, and Drew. Saltalamacchia walked in the second inning, got the 4-run rally started for the Red Sox. They trailed 2-0 at the time and now have a 4-2 lead. Action for the Astros in the pen. Travis Blackley is up. We saw him in game 1 of the series. The Astros stacked up on the right side in the shift for Saltalamacchia. Peacock with a fastball, curveball, and a changeup, and had trouble throwing them for strikes in the second inning. Bunt bid by Saltalamacchia fouled off.
That seems like every time Saltalamacchia tries to drop down a bunt in that open area because of the shift, he gets an inside fastball, and that's not an easy pitch to bunt down the third base line. You're kind of looking for something that's over the middle or away from you to get down that third base line. It's happened to him a couple of times.
In there for strike 3. Saltalamacchia strikes out, back-to-back Ks for Peacock. And one out here in the third inning.
Peacock with the change up again inside. It was supposed to be away, but it stays inside. Saltalamacchia jumping back and didn't like the call, but it looked like a pretty good pitch.
So one down here in the third inning brings up Will Middlebrooks. He doubled high off the wall in left field. Almost got it out of here for his 7th home run as he takes strike 1. Inside out swing, sent foul off to the right. Down the right field line this time, foul. And Brent Peacock came over from the Oakland A's along with Chris Carter. A deal that involved Jed Lowry. At the time, Lowry going from the Houston Astros to the Oakland A's, where he's had a terrific beginning to the season. He's one of the top pitching prospects in the A's minor league system at the time of the trade. And so far has had a tough time with the Astros. 1-2 with a 7.50 earned run average coming into his 5th start of the year. 2-2 is hit high in the air to center field and deep. Grossman going back and in front of the wall. He'll make the catch. 2 down in the inning. A long drive, but out number 2.
Tell you, Middlebrooks looked very good at the plate here tonight. Nice and quiet. He hit that ball off the wall, high off the wall back in the second inning. Gets another fastball in. Puts this a good charge in this one all the way back to the 379. But Grossman able to make the catch on this one. But Middlebrooks looks very comfortable at the plate tonight.
So 2 down in the third inning as Stephen Drew takes a pitch outside for ball 1. Drew walked and scored in the second inning. Astros get their 2 runs in the first inning off Felix Dubront. Red Sox getting 4 runs off Brad Peacock in the second. Inside, ball 3. Ball 4, and Stephen Drew down to first base. Second time he has walked in the game. That's 5 walks allowed by Peacock. Well, join NESN and AT&T in support of the One Fund Boston to benefit the victims of the marathon bombing. Text Boston to 80108 to donate $10 now, or visit onefundboston.org. Message and data rates may apply. For full terms, go to mgive.org/T. 2 down in the third inning. Stephen Drew at first base and Jacoby Ellsbury the batter. In the air to left field, playable for Chris Carter. And he makes the catch that ends the third inning. We head for the fourth. Red Sox on top by 2. NESN's coverage of Red Sox baseball is brought to you in part by Eastern Bank. You put your family first, your job first, even your team first. Isn't it time someone put you first? Eastern Bank does just that with products like Eastern Free Checking. Here, your first, Eastern Bank. And moving to the fourth inning, 4-2. Red Sox on top, and it's strike 1 to Matt Dominguez. Matt Dominguez, Marwin Gonzalez, and Robbie Grossman. Bottom third of the Astros order here in the fourth. DeBron has struck out 5 of the last 6 batters. And the side in order, and Carter, Cedeno, and Corcoran in the third inning. That's on the outside corner, 1-2.
Now that he is pitching better and throwing more strikes, he's getting more close calls.
On the ground to third base, tough hop, but it's picked by Middlebrooks. He's throwing plenty of time to get Dominguez.
Now we talked about the defense at Middlebrooks playing at third base, and that's a tough hop. That's why you go from the glove on the ground back up. And that time Middlebrooks doing it perfectly and getting the out at first base. That ball just kind of exploded on Will Middlebrooks.
One out, Marwin Gonzalez, the batter. He struck out swinging in the first inning. On the ground, a fair ball down the left field line, headed towards the corner. So is Mike Carp to dig it out, but Marwin Gonzalez will cruise into second base with a one-out double here in the fourth inning, and that breaks up a string of 5 in a row retired by Felix Dubron.
Gonzalez, who struck out the first time up, gets a fastball and top spins it down that third base line for the double. A lot of times after a guy strikes out, he'll be jumping on that first pitch, and that time he did for the double.
We welcome Jack Edwards and Andy Brickley. And guys, what's going on with the Caps tonight? And guys, it appears that right now Tuukka's picked a pretty good time to get hot. All right, guys, thanks very much. We now send it to Dale Arnold. Here it is, 4-2. Nice job, Jerry.
Actually, they answered my question that I was going to ask about Lucic tonight.
Who? Lucic?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but they answered that in the first question, so I was done.
This is on the ground, shot to short. Drew's got it. Slides to his left and fires. Nice stretch by Napoli for his second out of the inning as Gonzalez takes third base.
Drew ranging up the middle to make that play. Got fortunate, had a nice big high hop to deal with, which is kind of a dream for an infielder, and was able to get the out at first base on Grossman. Napoli spinning around, getting prepared for that catch. He had to stretch a little bit. But the Red Sox pick up the second out of the inning.
So 2 down. Gonzalez at third base, and Jose Altuve coming up here for the Astros.
I haven't had much to offer in those back and forths.
Well,
I really haven't.
I keep waiting, and it hasn't.
I'm saving my stuff for the playoffs.
Oh, okay. That was the first time they put us on camera for it, though. We're not usually on camera. So
we were on camera.
We were on camera.
Oh.
Pitch in the dirt, and it is knocked down by Saltalamacchia. Keeps it in front of him. Center fielder Jacoby Ellsbury, step or two towards right center. Altuve waiting on a 2-0. And that's in there for a strike. Altuve with a single and a strikeout scored the Astros' first run in the first inning. Three and one. Altuve just 22 years old. Turned 23 in May. Made his major league debut in July of 2011. Altuve takes strike 2. Full count now.
Brown may have got away with one there. That ball seemed to be high and out of the strike zone, but gets the call because he's throwing more strikes now.
Gonzalez at third base with 2 outs here in the 4th, and Altuve hits a ground ball to short on the run and in time. Nicely done by Stephen Drew. And it ends the top of the 4th inning. Red Sox on top by 2. Over the Astros as we head to the home half of the 4th inning. 2, 3, and 4 for the Red Sox anticipated. Daniel Nava, Dustin Pedroia, and David Ortiz as Brad Peacock. His first pitch of the inning in there for strike 1. 3rd at bat of the night for Daniel Nava. Lined out sharply to the first baseman in the 1st inning and then grounded out to 2nd in the 2nd. Let's send it down to Jenny.
Well, Don, earlier today, Daniel Nava threw out the first pitch of opening day at the RBI League at Jim Rice Field in Roxbury, Massachusetts. The RBI program is an initiative started by Major League Baseball that brings baseball to inner city children. Nava said he had a great time doing it, enjoyed being around those little kids.
Well, Daniel Nava has been very involved in the community since joining the Red Sox in 2010. And starting this year on the club right out of the gate. Coming into tonight's action, hitting at 290. Tough to get a read on what's going to happen with Shane Victorino here. It sounds as if there's a chance he may go on the DL. This one is lined down the left field line, a fair ball to the corner. And Carter over to play it, heading to second base is Nava. And he gets here with a leadoff double to begin things here in the bottom of the 4th inning.
I love the approach, though, a lot of these lefties are taking against Peacock tonight, where they're taking fastballs away. They're not trying to pull them. They're going to the opposite field. We've seen Ortiz do it. We've seen Ellsbury do it. Now we see Nava do it. It's just a nice approach that they're taking right now, and resulting in extra base hits. That's the double for Nava. He is now 1 for 3 on the night. Actually hit the ball very hard in his first at bat. And Don, I agree with you. It is sounding more and more like that because it doesn't sound like he's playing this weekend. Then you have the off day, and then you have 3 games on turf in Toronto. And that's not an ideal situation to bring a guy back on who's had a bad back to play on that surface, which up there, which John Farrell said is a harder surface than one like, say, down in St. Pete. So we'll have to wait and see, but it sounded a little bit like that, didn't it, today?
I thought so. As Dustin Pedroia stands in here on the right side, he's worked his way on twice, a single in the first, a walk in the second. Of course, the Rogers Center, the multi-purpose building where they are rolling up and putting back down the turf all the time there as Travis Blackley's back up again for the Astros. This one foul down the right field line, out of play. Center fielder Robbie Grossman towards right center for Pedroia to go the other way. Dustin twice has been left at third base in this game. This one fouled back, 2-2. Leadoff double by Daniel Nava to get this bottom of the fourth inning started. Now 2-2 to Pedroia. And it's on the ground right side. Now Tuve will go to first, and Pedroia retired, but a productive out as he moves the runner along with one out in the inning.
Yeah, very good job right there to get that ground ball to second base. You had the situation with the man at second, nobody out. So trying to advance the runner, he gets a fastball away, ground ball to second, gets Nava to third base.
Well, Bo Porter out to make a pitching change as Brad Peacock's night is over. He departs trailing in this game by 2 runs as Travis Blackley will be headed in. You in part by Eastern Bank. You always put others first. Wouldn't it be nice if your bank did the same thing with products that make life easier and a commitment to helping those in need? Here, your first Eastern Bank. Now David Ortiz batting with a runner at third and 1 out, and the infield in all the way around, and a mighty swing for Ortiz and a miss as Travis Blackley comes into the game, his 4th appearance, 2nd appearance of the series. He's got an 8.31 earned run average and 4 1/3. He's got 3 Ks but 3 walks, and opponent's hitting at .235 against Blackley. Peacock leaves responsible for Nava at third base. Swing and a miss, and it's 0-2.
Ortiz asking the umpire if that pitch was a strike. Was it on the corner? The answer would be yes. fastball away from Ortiz. First 2 pitches away from him.
David singled in the first. He doubled in the second. He's driven in 2 runs tonight. Now 8 RBIs on the year. He is 14 for 26. And he lines it to left. Carter is there to make the catch. Tagging at third is Nava. He'll score without a problem. And the Red Sox take a 5-2 lead. Big Papi drives in another run. His 3rd RBI of the night.
Well, he didn't look too good on the first 2 swings. Then he made up his mind that he's going to protect the plate, go to the opposite field. He goes that way on the line, and that's good enough to get Nava home. Nava had to scuffle back to the bag, but no problem scoring. Again, a left-hander using the opposite field tonight for the Red Sox. Very effective.
So Boston on top 5-2. Here's Mike Napoli. He struck out in the first, walked in the second inning. And takes ball 1. So that run is charged to Brad Peacock, starter tonight for the Astros. And a look at their starting pitching in this series. You are not going to win many baseball games with that in 11 innings pitched. Swing and a miss, and it's 1-1 tonight. Peacock goes 3 1/3, 6 hits, ends up giving up 5 runs. He walks 5 and strikes out 3 batters. He ends up throwing 90 pitches in 3 1/3 innings. Came in with a record of 1-2 and on the hook now for the Astros. Napoli now, Carp if the inning continues. Bounce in for ball 3. Likely pitching an inning and a third here in game 1 of the series without giving up a run or a hit for that matter. First career appearance against Boston. It's a major part of the A's run towards the playoffs last year in Oakland. Down the right field line, foul. Well, coming up Monday on Dennis and Callahan Show, DNC will recap the NFL draft as well as the big weekend for the Celtics, Sox, and Bruins. It all begins at 6 a.m. here on Nesson and on 93.7 WEI FM. Two down in the 4th inning. A run in here for the Red Sox. Base is empty, and 3-2 pitch coming up to Mike Napoli. To left and in for a base hit for Napoli. So a 2-out single, his first hit of the night, second time he's been on base.
Napoli now with a 4-game hitting streak does a good job staying on that slider that was down in the strike zone. And of course, Napoli, good low ball hitter. He goes right down with it and lines it into left field for the base hit. Two outs, a runner at first, and Mike Carp, the batter. He is 0 for 2 in the game tonight. And a swing and a miss for strike 1. Carp has now been in 8 of the last 12 Red Sox games, and that now includes 4 starts. That's after getting very little playing time in the first 12 games of the year, playing in 2 of the first 12 games of the year, and no starts in the first 12 games. But he has been producing and a chance to play on a more regular basis. The absence of Victorino certainly has helped that as well.
Fouls it off and is down 1-2. Now tomorrow the Red Sox will face the Astros' best pitcher in Bud Norris. He is 3-2 with a 4.13 earned run average. He'll get the nod tomorrow. And of course the return of John Lackey here tomorrow afternoon. First pitch at 135 at Fenway as a throw to first base as Napoli back to the bag. Up holds off and takes ball 2, 2-2. Jared Saltalamacchia waiting on deck. There are 2 outs here in the 4th. Well, strike 3 over the inside corner. Carp strikes out. The Red Sox get a run through 4. Boston on top 5-2. Games. Visit Ace Ticket for great seats at the lowest prices. Ace Ticket also has your seats for all of the summer's hottest concerts. Visit Ace Ticket or call 1-800-MY-SEATS. We'll play along to the 5th inning.
John, we got a chance to meet the bride-to-be prior to the ball game. She came up to the booth with her bridesmaids.
And she's having a good time.
Yeah, she asked for advice, and we said, don't do it.
Yeah. Brandon Barnes leads it off for the Astros and takes ball 1. Barnes hit by a pitch in the first inning, walked in the second inning. He's been on twice without the benefit of a base hit. Felix Doubront giving out 2 runs to the Astros in the first inning, an inning in which he walked 3, hit a batter, and gave up a hit. Was fortunate to get out of that inning, only giving up the 2 runs, and since then has not allowed any. 2-2.
That changeup for Dubront really has improved since back in the first inning. I mean, it's excellent now. He's getting a lot of dip on it. It's dipping down and out of the strike zone. You see that late movement?
Barnes strikes out. He doesn't like it. The high strike call that time from Marvin Hudson, and that's 7 strikeouts for Dubront.
And Dubront back to another changeup. This one stays up in the zone, but he gets the call on the inside corner. Amica Insurance is the proud sponsor of the Amica Pitch Zone.
One out here in the 5th inning. It takes us to Brandon Laird. Walked in the first inning, struck out looking in the second, and takes the breaking ball up and away. Yankees were 5-4 winners today over Toronto. And Baltimore beating Oakland 7-3 today as Middlebrooks at third base. Throws out Laird, 2 down. There's a view from the Nesson box here at Fenway Park. Here, pretty good view.
That's a great seat. Red Sox get in the playoffs. That's where we prepare for our pregame and postgame shows with Tom Caron.
I didn't know that.
Sits quite a bit in the Nesson box. And they're doing their show from Yorkie Way.
Is the box nice?
Very nice.
Very nice.
Excellent. I've never actually watched a game from in there.
Neither have I. Breaking ball fouled off. Got a piece of Saltalamacchia.
Tell you what they have in it. It's very good. Is chips and dip. They have an onion dip. Outstanding.
Can't beat that.
Oh, and it's there before the game. You can just crush it before the people come.
Swing and a miss. Dubront strikes out Chris Carter. That's 8 punch outs for Dubront. We're halfway through this one. 5-2 Sox. Of the 5th inning. Bottom third of the Red Sox order. Jared Saltalamacchia, Will Middlebrooks, and Stephen Drew. As Travis Blackley back on the mound for the Astros. Got the final 2 outs of the 4th inning, and here he is in the 5th. A check swing for Saltalamacchia does not go, says Jordan Baker, first base umpire. Outfield very deep and straight away on Saltalamacchia. Swinging a foul right off Carlos Corcoran's mask.
Well, today I followed the Twitter world, and I noticed that you tweeted out something today with you as a college student with Mr. Vin Scully.
I did that today. I don't know why I did it, to be honest with you, because
I don't know why you did it either.
It shows
because
how badly I've aged. I mean, it's really bad.
Look at you.
I was 20 years old there, 1989. That was in the radio booth. I was interning for Joe Castiglione, and Vin walked in, doing the game of the week for NBC. Now, Vin still looks like that today.
You don't look like that.
I don't look much like that guy.
No, you got the exploding chest hair.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Did you notice that?
Yeah, I did. But see, I mean, the moss is gone.
Yeah.
The fat is all here. You know, I mean, and it's sad. This is what happens, I guess.
What about manscaping? Do you do that?
Oh, yeah. I'm much more under control now in that area than I was then, apparently. This one gets away, and it's 2-2. Yeah, I was rocking the chest hair. I don't know why.
Yeah. First, I saw that. I didn't recognize. I didn't think it was you. I had no idea it was you.
So, yeah, it's not good.
No.
That's what happens.
It's been quite a change.
10 years of minor league buses, 13 years of working with Jerry. That's what you look like.
Look at Vin. He looks great.
He looks terrific.
Looks the same now.
Same right now. And then there's me. Swing and a miss. Look out. Bat goes into the seats. And Saltalamacchia strikes out for the first out of the 5th inning.
Fooled on a slider that time by Blackley, and that bat just goes flying. Thank goodness nobody was hurt.
So one down in the inning for Will Middlebrooks, who takes a look at strike one. That would have been, Jerry, your second year here.
My second year broadcasting?
Second year broadcasting. And I remember, because every day you would ask me for the lineup. Every day. Got the lineup yet? Nope, not yet.
See, I don't even remember you then.
Well, that's because
I mean, you look totally different.
The same, yeah.
You don't look the same at all.
But, yeah, that was a big thing every day. I'd say, hey, Jerry, how you doing? He'd say, you got the lineup? And we keep walking. I usually didn't have the lineup. That was it. You're still doing it. Got the lineup? Nope.
The lineup is very important to have.
The day cannot go on until you get the lineup.
No.
When one pitch is outside.
I mean, you were a good-looking kid in high school. I mean, college. Yeah.
I guess. I don't know. It's just really sad. 2-1. Is lined and into center field. Middlebrooks has got it going on now.
I'm glad we didn't open tonight on Middlebrooks, because I just had that feeling that he was starting to break out of this thing. He's had 3 very, very good at-bats in this ball game tonight. Up the middle with the line drive this time. A 2-for-3 night. Any kind of luck at all would be 3-for-3. Well, it is pretty sad when you see old pictures of yourself and you see what the end result is.
Right.
And
what's happened now?
I mean, I go back and I look at myself in pictures when I was a player, and I look at myself now and I go, geez.
You were a stud.
Yeah, that was, yeah.
Great moss.
Yeah.
Really fast. This is rip foul down the right field line. And Stephen Drew has walked twice tonight. Once in the second, once in the third. In there for strike 2, 0-2. On the ground, softly to first base. Laird will apply the tag for the out as Middlebrooks takes second base. Are you a leader of a group of 20 or more? A Red Sox game at Fenway Park is the perfect place for your next outing. Call 617-226-6835 to plan the perfect trip today. Well, some youngsters enjoying tonight's game here at Fenway Park. Two down, and Will Middlebrooks in scoring position at second base as Jacoby Ellsbury 1 for 3 in the game. Couple of RBIs with his base hit in the second inning.
Well, the left-handers tonight, as we mentioned, have been doing a great job going to the opposite field, and we see Jacoby Ellsbury drop one into left field. Big Poppy for a double down that left field line. We see Daniel Nava on a changeup go the other way, and then Ortiz again for a sacrifice line drive. So good job using the whole ballpark tonight by Red Sox hitters.
Well, Middlebrooks at second base with 2 outs. Ellsbury waiting on a 1-1. And it's grounded foul, 1-2. And the approach against Peacock worked tonight. 3 1/3 innings he's chased from this game and was up 6 hits, 5 runs. He walked 5, struck out 3. Travis Blackley came in last inning and is not allowed to run yet. There's a runner in scoring position with 2 down here, and he's thrown 30 pitches in relief. Nobody warming behind him in the Astros pen. Two and two. Middlebrooks had singled, took second on a ground out by Drew. Little number off the mound is Blackley. He'll turn and fire and get it there in time. Nice play for the 3rd out. They're throwing it around the infield. They don't need to as the inning is over. That'll wrap it up. We've played 5. It is 5-2 Red Sox. Sox have the lead over the Houston Astros as we head to the top half of the 6th inning.
All right, that's a good sign.
It is. Anytime you're part of a sign, it's a good sign.
Prom night.
Prom night with us.
Wow. So we got a bachelorette party and a prom night.
To short and Stephen Drew. Ronnie Cedeno is thrown out at first base. 6 in a row retired by Dubron. He's really settled into this outing very nicely. He's given up just 1 hit since the 1st inning.
I agree, Don. The way he started this ball game, it didn't look like he'd make it out of the 1st inning. But since that time, it has really spun around for Felix Dubron.
One out for Carlos Corcoran, who walked in the 1st inning, struck out swinging in the 3rd. His ticket brings you the pitching line for Felix Dubron. 5 1/3, 2 hits, and a couple of runs. It's pitch 86, and it's in there for strike 1. Wesley Wright warming in the pen now for the Astros. We've seen a lot of this Astros pen in the series so far. Tonight is game 3. Tomorrow game 4 of the series. Houston will then depart and go to New York to take on the Yankees. This is grounded back. Dubron with a nice pick at the base of the hill. 2 down in the inning. Let's send it down to field level and Jenny Dell.
Well, Don, John Lackey is expected to make the start tomorrow here at Fenway Park. It's been nearly 3 weeks since that right bicep strain in Toronto. John Farrell said that he was really encouraged seeing his rehab appearance and that he really didn't feel any discomfort of any kind, and he'll go into Sunday with little hesitation. Don, they'll be watching the stretch of each pitch thrown to see how deep he can go in the game.
Well, looking forward to that. He's certainly pitching very well in Toronto before walking off the mound with the bicep strain, and should be fun to see John work tomorrow. In there for strike 1.
76 pitches, as you saw on that graphic in the rehab assignment for John Lackey. So I would have guessed tomorrow somewhere between 90, right around 90 pitches. And again, you know, it depends on how stressful those pitches are throughout the course of the ball game. What type of situations Lackey's in.
Dominguez fouls it off to the right, and we'll do it again. 1-2. It seemed as if right after it happened, just a couple days later, he was pretty much feeling very well very quickly.
You know, I saw him the night it happened in actually the lobby up in Toronto, and he said he felt better, you know, right away, because the first thing we thought about was the elbow problem again. But it was not that. It was a bicep problem, and it had quieted down quite a bit that night. So that was a very good sign for John Lackey. And of course, going out and doing everything he's had to do, play long catch and then go back and make the rehab appearance. He's ready to go tomorrow, so that's great news for the Red Sox and John Lackey in particular.
We match up against right-hander Bud Norris here tomorrow. 1:35 start time. 2-2 is hit in the air down the left field line. Drew, Carp, and Middlebrooks are there, and nobody's going to catch it. It will be a foul ball. Fortunate for the Red Sox.
Yeah, a couple of guys, Drew and Carp, get tied up together right along that wall. Middlebrooks runs out of room right there. He looks back, and the ball clearly falling in foul territory, but nobody able to make the play on it. I think Drew shied off right at the last minute because Carp was coming in so hard on it.
So another chance for Dominguez. They'll pop it up. Better chance here for Middlebrooks, who steps into foul ground and takes care of out number 3. 8 in a row retired by Felix Doubront, on top by 3. Needs like Carrick Brewers and Green Mountain K-Cups delivered right to your office. Who do you call for the flavors you want and prices you'll savor? Who but W.B. Mason? Bottom of the 6th inning at Fenway Park.
Oh, a lot of work went into those balloons.
Daniel Nava leading it off against the new Astros pitcher here in the bottom of the 6th inning. There's strike 1. Wesley Wright into the game, his 12th appearance, 2nd appearance of the series. No record, but 3.27 earned run average, and opponents hitting at .262. Working in back-to-back games and jumping ahead of Nava, 0-2. Nava grounds it foul down the third base line. Scoop, scoop, scoop for the home team with delicious Hood Red Sox ice cream. Get your favorites in the freezer aisle today. Always good, always Hood. No 2 is just going to miss, framed by the catcher Corcoran. Swinging a foul, will do it again, 1-2. Not able to double his last time up. Came around to score the Red Sox 5th run of the night. Boston getting 4 in the second, 1 in the 4th inning. A little bit high, and it's 2-2. Wesley Wright, 28 years of age, from Montgomery, Alabama. Resides here during the offseason as well. Pedroia, then Ortiz, expected here in the home half of the 6th inning. On the ground, foul.
$3 for a 6-inch sub at Subway, huh?
Is that what it said?
$3.
Wow.
Spring training, I go to Subway just about every day.
Was it $3 then?
No.
No. It's an April special, so you better hurry up. 2-2 to Nava. Swing and a miss. He strikes out. Wright gets him for the first out of the 6th inning.
Now that's one thing Nava doesn't do very often. That's leave the strike zone to take a swing. That ball up and away from Nava, and he doesn't normally do that. Normally very patient and very good eye at the plate, but that ball away from him and up out of the strike zone.
1 out here in the 6th inning, and that brings up Dustin Pedroia, who's been on twice tonight. Singled in the 1st, walked in the 2nd. Grounded out to second base in the 4th inning. Outside for ball 3, and Wright falls behind 3-0. David Ortiz on deck. 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th inning. There's a strike, 3-1. Astros getting 2 runs tonight off Felix Dubron in the 1st inning, and Dubron very good since then, only giving up the 1 hit. And has retired 8 batters in a row on his side as Wright walks Pedroia with 1 out here in the 6th inning. This is the 6th walk given up tonight by Astros pitching. And David Ortiz coming up. Left-handed batters hitting at .222 against Wright. 4 for 18 so far in this season. Well, since 2011, left-handers hitting at just .176 against Wesley Wright. Inside for ball 1.
The only reason that ball was called a ball is because the catcher had to go across the plate to make the catch on it. But that ball had a lot of the strike zone. See, he's set up outside. Now watch him reach across, and that gives the impression to the umpire that it was not a strike.
When it goes, the pitch is low for a ball, and the throw is going to be late. Stolen base for Pedroia.
A very good jump at first base by Pedroia, and he gets the benefit also of the slider that time to help him out a little bit on that attempted steal. Pedroia almost came off the bag, goes in very hard with a pop-up slide, and you can see that toe just keeping contact with a second base bag.
In the dirt outside, 3-0. Inside, not close, and Big Papi will head down to first base. So the base on balls. Back-to-back walks now for Wesley Wright.
Ortiz taking all the way on the 3-0 count. And not even close to being a strike.
Well, great seats are still available to come out to Fenway Park to watch the homestand finale tomorrow against these Houston Astros. Get your tickets by calling 877-RED SOX 9 online at redsox.com/tickets or visit the Fenway Park ticket office. And remember, as April comes to a close, kids 12 and under eat free, and KM Fenway Franks are 2 for $1 all month long. 1 out, 2 on for the Red Sox here in the 6th inning, and Mike Napoli is the batter. Napoli striking out in the 1st inning. Since then, a walk and a single, and has been on twice. That's in there for strike 1. Red Sox are 9-2 all time against the Houston Astros, with most of the games taking place at Minute Maid Park in Houston. The Astros were here in 2003, and of course part of the National League at that time. A 1 to Mike Napoli. Napoli lays off, and it's 1-1. Daniel Navas struck out to begin the inning, but back-to-back walks. They're headed to overtime in Washington as Capitals and Bruins tied up 2-2. Outside for ball 2. Pedroia at second, Ortiz at first, with 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th inning.
We noticed the other night when Wright came into the game, when there's runners on base, he likes to check them a lot. Looks to home plate, checks the runner, looks to home plate, checks the runner. And a lot of times you get these timeouts called by the hitters who are getting a little impatient standing at home plate.
Two and 1 the count to Mike Napoli. And they had Pedroia with a big lead at second base, and he sort of slipped, but he's able to get back as they check on him.
And Dustin has actually started to run toward third base and then got back.
Catcher back out again. Two-one. Off the outside edge, 3-1. He's already walked back-to-back batters. Now falls behind Napoli, 3-1. Minute and 55 seconds in between pitches this last time. 3-1. Line caught. It'll turn into two. That'll end the inning. So Wright gets out of the jam. The Red Sox on top 5-2 at the end of 6. Red Sox Game Day Live presented by DCU. NESN's pregame coverage of the Sox begins an hour before every game. DCU, Digital Federal Credit Union, banking the DCU way. And tomorrow, Adam Pellerin will be hosting the pregame show tomorrow from Fenway Park. And the final game of the 4-game series between the Red Sox and the Astros. And then the first pitch will be at 1:35 from Fenway Park. Then Felix Doubront back on the mound here for the 7th inning. And it's Marwin Gonzalez, who's 1 for 2. Gonzalez shoots it through the right side into right field for a base hit. Wasn't waiting around. And that breaks up a string of 8 in a row retired by Felix Doubront.
And the second hit of the night for Gonzalez. Had a double back in the 4th inning. And now this ringing single as he goes to the opposite field on a Doubront fastball.
It was only the 3rd hit of the night for the Astros as Hector Ambrose is about to start warming in the Astros pen. We've already seen Travis Blackley and Wesley Wright out of the Astros pen tonight, and lead runner on for Robbie Grossman. This will squirt through, and up to second base goes Gonzalez. Saltalamacchia unable to block that.
This will probably go as a pass ball on Saltalamacchia. The ball never really hit the dirt. Reaches down and deflects right off the webbing of the glove.
It is a pass ball that gets Gonzalez to second base. No number in front of the plate. Saltalamacchia looks the runner back at second and fires to first to get Grossman for the first out of the 7th inning. One on, one out, and Jose Altuve coming up.
Just a little tap in front of the plate on a changeup, hitting on top of the changeup. And Saltalamacchia pouncing out, checking that runner at second base, make sure he's not advancing. And then gets the out at first base as he clears himself of the runner.
Altuve singled and scored in the first inning, struck out in the second, and grounded out to shortstop in the 4th inning. Runner takes off at third. The pitch is a ball, and the throw is going to be not in time. Stolen base on a headfirst slide from Marwin Gonzalez.
And no chance at all right there for Saltalamacchia. A walking, running lead at second base for the base runner Gonzalez. Good throw by Saltalamacchia, but he really had no chance with the lead and jump that Gonzalez had.
Shinichi Tozawa is first up in the Red Sox pen tonight, as DuBront works here with 1 out in the 7th inning. And this is pitch number 100 of the night for DuBront. It's in there for strike 1. Longest outing of the year for DuBront. His last outing, 6 2/3 innings. He's gone 6 1/3 so far here tonight. The most pitches he's thrown in any outing was the last outing. It was 113 pitches, and again that was part of his victory against the Oakland A's. On the ground towards third base, Middlebrooks will go to first with it as the run will score. In from third comes Gonzalez, and it's now a 5-3 game with 2 outs in the top half of the 7th inning, and Altuve picks up an RBI. Well, the game summary is brought to you by Xfinity from Comcast. Started tonight for the Astros. Brad Peacock went 3 1/3 innings. And for the Red Sox, Felix DuBront 6 2/3 now. Ellsbury 1 for 4 in the game. Big Papi 2 for 2 with the double. He's driven in 3 runs in the game. And David has been aboard 3 times in the game. Single, double, and a walk. All part of a Red Sox 5-3 lead. As Brandon Barnes bats for the 4th time tonight. Been hit by a pitch, walked, and struck out. On the ground left side, Middlebrooks will cut it off. His throw is not good, but it's picked out by Napoli. No. Dropped the baseball apparently because safe at first is Barnes. Should have been the end of the inning, but a wild throw from Middlebrooks at third base.
That ball hit kind of hard to be playing that with the bare hand, but that's what Middlebrooks does, and then bounces the ball to first base, but cannot be handled by Napoli. He actually got a pretty good bounce over there at first base from the grass, but not able to handle it. And out comes John Farrell to maybe go to the bullpen.
They've awarded a hit on that to Brandon Barnes. And John Farrell will indeed make the move. Sox on top 5-3. Houston Astros with 2 outs in the top half of the 7th. That is the night for Felix Dubron, who leaves after 6 2/3. He's responsible for Brandon Barnes, who's at first base with 2 outs here in the 7th inning. This call to the bullpen is brought to you on NESN by New England Ford dealers. And Shinichi Tozawa comes into the game for Boston. It is appearance number 12 of the year for Tozawa, 2-0 with a 1.59 earned run average. Strikeout an inning, basically 11 Ks and 11 1/3, and opponent's average hitting at 225. Pinch hitter here for the Astros as Fernando Martinez pinch hits for Brandon Laird as they check on Barnes.
It's a balk.
It is a balk.
Yeah, Tozawa never stepped off. Watch Tozawa not step off the rubber and fake a throw to first base. Can't do that.
So Barnes now moves to second base. This one fouled back off to the left. Down and in, and it evens at 1-1. So Felix Dubron giving up 3 runs so far in his outing. He is responsible for Barnes at second base. 4 hits, walked 4, and struck out 8 batters. Martinez takes it low and inside, 2-1. Tozawa allowed 1 of his 2 inherited runners to score in last night's game against Houston. Opponent's hitting at just 172 against him in the last 8 games. Two and 2.
Basically staying first 4 pitches with the fastball to Martinez. That time on the inside part of the plate. Ties up Martinez.
Wally without his lid on.
I was a little nervous in this inning. They got a run across here, so he's got the hat off.
Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 down. Pinch hitter Fernando Martinez takes ball 3, full count. Red Sox had a 5-2 lead, but the Astros have scored once here in the top half of the 7th, and tying run at the plate here in Fernando Martinez. Does have 1 home run on the year. In the dirt, ball 4, and Tozawa walks him. So now the tying run heading down to first base with 2 outs in the inning.
Now the first split-fingered fastball he features is on the 3-2 count, and Martinez did not bite on it and draws the walk.
That is the first walk this season given up by Tozawa. Two on, 2 down, and Chris Carter, the batter, always a threat to go deep. 5 home runs so far in the season. Tonight he has walked and struck out twice. Fouled back and out of play. 0 for 1 in his career against Tozawa with a strikeout. Foul down the right field line, 0-2.
Well, Don, the Red Sox have been home for almost 10 games now, but they're hitting the road soon. So Sox fans, you can download the Scan app to your mobile device and use it all time to find out where the Sox will be all season long. Use it now to scan the code on your TV screen and download the complete 2013 Red Sox schedule. NESN and NESN.com have made it simple to keep your Sox on all summer.
Red Sox with 1 game left on the homestand. And it's on to Toronto and Texas. 0-2 pitch to Carter with 2 on here in the 7th. And it's down and in. Red Sox have action. Andrew Miller now up in the pen. Framed by Saltalamacchia, but just outside.
And not by very much. Saltalamacchia faking like he's going to set up inside, then jumps to the outside corner. And that 4th pitch just missing for Tozawa.
Swing and a miss. Carter strikes out as Tozawa leaves 2 on. 5-3 Red Sox. Time for a NESN Daily Update. $15,000 plumbing, heating, and HVAC contractors throughout the Northeast. Visit fwweb.com for more about this proud sponsor of the Boston Red Sox. Now, Bo Porter now on the mound as Wesley Wright had been warming up. He comes out to make a change here, and Wright comes out of the game as pitching change here now for the Astros.
Johnny Gomes was announced as a pinch hitter, so that's the reason they go out and they get Wright and bring in the right-hander.
So we will step aside and come back with the new Astros pitcher after this. Sox have the lead over the Astros as we get ready for the bottom of the 7th inning. And Astros have some defensive changes. Fernando Martinez, who pinch hit, now comes into the game in left field defensively. Moving from left to first base is Chris Carter. And the new pitcher now for Houston is Hector Ambriz. His 12th appearance, 0-1 with a 3.65 earned run average. His second appearance of this series. Opponent's hitting at .314 against Ambriz. And Johnny Gomes will pinch hit for Mike Carp. Carp had been 0 for 3 in the game with a ground out and 2 strikeouts. So Gomes coming off the bench to pinch hit here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Ambriz takes over for Wesley Wright, who in an inning giving up no hits, no runs, walked 2 and struck out a batter. There's ball 1 to Gomes. Gomes tied for second on the team with walks, and 10 walks on the year. 7 walks in his last 10 games. That's a strike, 1-1. Gomes got the start in last night's game, 1 for 5 with an RBI. That's strike 2.
There's a couple of nasty pitches in a row down and away from Johnny Gomes. Certainly not hittable pitches, but both very good call strikes.
In the dirt outside, 2-2. On the hook right now, the starter tonight for the Astros, Brad Peacock, who went 3 1/3 innings, 6 hits, 5 runs, walked 5 and struck out 3. Ambriz, the 4th Astros pitcher of the night, used by Bo Porter. Gomes to right field. Barnes moves over and makes the catch for the first out of the 7th inning. Well, Nessa Daily brings you everything you need to know about another big day on the Boston sports scene. Bring you highlights and analysis of tonight's Sox and Bruins games. We'll see if the Pats can find a hidden gem on day 3 of the NFL draft. And we'll debut the return of Nick Cafardo's MLB Diamond Notes. All that and more with Adam Pellerin and Leah Hextall tonight on Nesson Daily. 1 out in the 7th inning, and Jared Saltalamacchia, the batter. He hit one in the air to left. Martinez going back, and he's going to play it off the wall. Karam to him pretty quickly, and the throw to second base off the mark and gets away. And it is a double for Saltalamacchia with 1 out here in the 7th inning.
Well, we've seen this all night long, haven't we, from left-handed hitters going to the opposite field. This time Saltalamacchia is strong enough to use that left field wall. Turnover fastball going away on the outside part of the pot and plate, and then Saltalamacchia going to the opposite field. This is beautiful hitting tonight by the Red Sox.
That is the second time in 2 nights that we've seen the ladder hit after not seeing the ladder hit for like years.
Yeah, years and years.
Two balls, no strikes to Will Middlebrooks, who doubled in the 2nd, flied out to the warning track in the 3rd, and then singled in the 5th. Down and away, 3-0. That's a strike as Middlebrooks is about to toss the bat, but gets the bad news from Marvin Hudson. On the outside corner for strike two, grabbing that outside corner, back-to-back pitches. Middlebrooks finally takes the walk, that time too far outside. Really down to first base with 2 down. Let's check back in with Jenny.
Well, Don, we asked fans if they felt strikeouts are a barometer of how well a pitcher is faring, and here are some of our best answers given to us by AT&T. So Katie said, I think that the ERA matters more for the pitching staff than the amount of strikeouts. Dana said Ryan Dempster said it best, and that was presented earlier by Geico. Said Ks are nice, but we'll take outs any way we can get them. And Santa, good Twitter name, strikeouts do more than just count as outs. Don?
All right, Jay, thank you very much. With 2 outs here in the 7th inning. Red Sox have runners at first and second, and this is into left center field. Base hit for Drew as Saltalamacchia is coming around to score. Red Sox take a 6-3 lead.
Well, Drew, the latest left-handed hitter, to go to the opposite field. Picks on the first pitch from Ambrose and drops into left field for the base hit. Drive in a big run for the Red Sox. Picks up his 4th RBI in a Red Sox uniform as Saltalamacchia comes around to score. Saw Saltalamacchia hold up just for a second at second base to make sure that ball was up over the head of the shortstop Gonzalez.
The action in the Red Sox pen, Daniel Bard starting to warm up in the pen. Swing and a miss for Ellsbury. Ellsbury with a single in the 2nd inning. 1 for 4 game tonight from the top spot in the order. He's driven in 2 runs and now 11 RBIs on the season. That's strike 2. Ambrose trying to battle back here after 2 hits and a walk mixed in. Middlebrooks at second. Drew at first with 1 out. Ellsbury fouling it back. Ellsbury is now hit safely in 21 of the first 24 games the Red Sox have played on the season. No 2 pitch is away, 1-2. Swinging a foul tip held on to strike 3. First strikeout for Ambrose and the 2nd out of the 7th inning.
The slider that time gets Jacoby Ellsbury. As you can see, they wanted that ball away, but it stays over the middle of the plate. Amica Insurance is the proud sponsor of the Amica Pit Zone.
So 2 down here for Daniel Nava. Doubled in the 4th inning. His hit tonight, 1 for 4 in the game. Fastball away for ball 1. First run a reliever has given up in this game for Houston after their starter Brad Peacock gave up 5 and 3 1/3, but Hector Ambrose giving up a run here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Now a 1-0. That's a strike, 1-1.
It's a pretty good 2-seam fastball that Ambrose is featuring right now. Quite a bit of movement on that fastball. Cuts back over the heart of the plate.
Drew at first, Middlebrooks at second with 2 outs in the inning. Nava to left field. Martinez going back, and it's going to be off the scoreboard. Middlebrooks will score, and the Red Sox take a 7-3 lead. Second hit of the night for Daniel Nava, and he drives in Boston's 7th run.
Well, I hate to keep repeating myself, Don, but I mean, this has become a habit for the left-handed hitters. Just using the opposite field. Nava going off the wall to drive in a run with 2 outs. Second double of the night for Nava. And I would like to keep repeating myself.
Yes. It's a good thing for the Red Sox tonight. Home plate umpire Marvin Hudson is headed out to break up this conversation with Carlos Corcoran and Hector Ambrose with runners at first and third and 2 outs, and Dustin Pedroia coming up. There's strike 1. Pedroia's been on base 3 times in the game, a single and 2 walks. That's with Drew at third and Nava at first. Here's an 0-1. Into right field, a base hit. Stephen Drew will score, and the Red Sox take an 8-3 lead. Second hit of the night for Pedroia, and he drives in a run.
I'm going to repeat myself again. To the opposite field goes Pedroia, a right-handed hitter. I'll tell you, the Red Sox hitters tonight are really locked in. I mean, these are great at-bats that they're putting on this pitching for the Houston Astros. Nobody's trying to do too much. They're taking what they give them. Very impressive.
Well, the Red Sox on top now 8-3, a 5-run pad as they scored 3 times here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Now Big Papi has been on base 3 times in the game. Single, double, a sac fly, and walked in this game. He's driven in 3 runs already. Called the ball. Ortiz drives this to deep center field. Back goes Grossman onto the track to make the catch that ends the inning. The Red Sox score 3 times. They strand 2 and have an 8-3 lead. Their lead, they scored 3 times in the bottom of the 7th inning and take an 8-3 lead. Now Johnny Gomes in left field now for the Red Sox. There's a pitch hit for Mike Karp. And the new pitcher for the Red Sox is Daniel Bard. He pitched on Thursday, a no decision against the Astros in his first game of 2013 in the big leagues, and 1 inning in which he gave up 1 hit and threw 18 pitches. He takes over for Shinichi Tozawa, who was able to get the final out of the 7th inning. I welcome those of you watching the Boston Bruins game tonight as the Red Sox and Houston Astros play here into the top half of the 8th inning. An 8-3 Red Sox lead. Carlos Pena pinch hitting here for Ronnie Cedeno. Pena started the first 2 games of the series, and Cedeno got the start tonight as a DH. He had a sac fly in the first, struck out in the 3rd, and then grounded out in the 6th inning. And Pena pinch hitting and takes a pitch inside for ball 1. Carlos sitting at 190 on the year as Jose Veras is up in the pen. We have not seen Veras in the series. He has 2 saves on the year. And nothing to save for the Astros so far in the first couple of games. And right now trailing by 5 runs. On a night when they jumped out on top 2-0. Bard has missed with the first 2 pitches here, 2-0. A little bit off the fastball at 92, but still missed. And that's ball 4 down to first base for Pena. Advil is the official pain reliever of the Boston Red Sox and proud supporter of volunteers. Go to Advil.com to find out about the Advil Relief in Action campaign. Lead off walk for the pinch hitter Carlos Pena. And first base to begin things in the 8th. Last thing Daniel Bard wanted to do. And a time called. Saltalamacchia requesting time. Carlos Corcoran, the catcher, has walked, struck out, and grounded out. There's ball 1 inside, and 5 straight balls as Alex Wilson warms in the Red Sox pen. And it's 2-0. 6 straight balls here for Bard. And this will bring Juan Nieves out. Well, to support the victims and families of the Boston Marathon tragedy, CVS Pharmacy customers can make a donation to the One Fund at locations across Greater Boston through May the 4th. Carlos Pena at first base here in the top half of the 8th. Carlos Corcoran the batter, and he's ahead of the count 2-0. There's a strike, 2-1. First strike thrown by Bard since coming in. In the dirt, and that's ball 3, 3-1. Bard pitching a scoreless 9th inning in his season debut for the Red Sox in game 1 of the series upon his return after being recalled by the Red Sox from Double-A Portland, where he began the year, and recalled on the 24th. That's not close for ball 4, and back-to-back walks here for the Astros in the 8th.
And John Farrell quickly out to the mound to make the change. And what he's trying to do in this game tonight, Don, is, with the lead, not use guys like Uehara and Bailey late in the ballgame. Tazawa didn't work very much because they got Lackey going tomorrow, who, may go 5 innings in the ballgame. So he's trying to save that bullpen. Bard could not get the job done with a couple of walks.
So the pitching change from Fenway. It's 8-3. Boston on top. For the Astros as back-to-back walks for Bard, and Alex Wilson coming into the game here as Matt Dominguez bats with runners at first and second and nobody out. And the pitch is high for ball one. Our Coors Light Refresherator in from the Red Sox bullpen. Alex Wilson into his 6th game, has not given up a run in 5 innings. Sox fans, there's a new reliever in town and he's throwing silver bullets. 1-0 to Dominguez, and this is lined to left field. Pena coming around from second base, he will score, and it's an RBI single for Matt Dominguez. Now it's 8-4 Red Sox on top. That run charged to Daniel Bard.
Now Dominguez gets a fastball down and in, and he shoots it into left field for the base hit. Dominguez picking up his first hit of the night. And you may get into a situation here with another run where you're going to get guys up in the bullpen that you really didn't want to get up in this game tonight.
Bard walking both batters that he faced, the pinch hitter Pena and then Carlos Corcoran. Marwin Gonzalez is the batter, and he takes strike one. In the air to right field. Nava went back a step, now comes in and makes the catch as everybody's going to stay where they're at. Corcoran at second base, Dominguez at first. That's the first out of the inning. Two on, one away, and Robbie Grossman coming up. 0 for 3 from the number 9 spot for the Astros tonight. He's grounded out 3 times. In the dirt, 2-0. Corcoran at second base, Dominguez at first base with 1 out here in the 8th. This one fouled back. The base hit by Dominguez with runners at first and second. Well, that was the first hit with men in scoring position in the last 2 days. They're now 1 for 21 last night and tonight with runners in scoring position. And they finally got a timely hit and looking for more here. Too high, 3-1. Fouls it off, full count. 93 that time from Wilson. Well, coming up Monday on Dennis and Callahan, TNC will recap the NFL draft as well as the big weekend for the Celtics, Sox, and Bruins. It all begins at 6 a.m. here on Nesson and on 93.7 WEEI FM. Three-two pitch. And a fly ball to left. Gomes going back, and he'll make the catch. Late lunge, and he reels it in out there in left field. Oh, it looked like it may get over his head.
Well, he has made a couple of very nice plays out in left field over the last few nights. Last night, going to his right on a ball that was slicing away from him. He had to dive to make the play. And Ryan Dempster loved this effort. And now tonight, going back toward the wall. Takes a line drive hit away from Grossman. So two very nice plays by Johnny Gomes out in left field over the last couple of days.
Two down now in the inning with runners at first and second, fully extended on both occasions. And here is Jose Altuve. On the ground is short. Drew to the backhand, a bobble, and it's costly. Everybody's safe. Error charge to Drew that loads the bases.
Now Drew had been very sure-handed until that ground ball there picks up his first error of the season going to the backhand, and the ball just popped right out of the glove, hit the heel of the glove, and from there no play. So a break for Houston.
That looks like a pinch hitter coming up here. Rick Ankiel is going to pinch hit for Brandon Barnes. .205, but 5 home runs and 11 runs batted in for Ankiel. In the dirt for ball one. Action in the Red Sox pen. Andrew Miller is back up again. He had been up earlier in the game, and now all of a sudden he is back up again. 1-0 is in there for strike 1 and 1. Alex Wilson made his major league debut with the Red Sox back on April 11th against Baltimore. Trying to work out of a bases loaded jam here. Here's a 1-1. And a swing and a miss. Ankiel with that swing trying to tie the score.
I just challenge time there. 93-mile-an-hour fastball against the power of Ankiel, and the fastball wins.
The 1-2. Ankiel strikes out. So Wilson out of the jam. Houston gets a run, but it's 8-4 Sox. to you in part by Southwest Airlines, New England Subaru dealers, and by Sullivan Tire and Auto Centers. 8-4 Red Sox on top of the Astros as we head to the bottom of the 8th inning. Changes for the Astros. Rick Ankiel stays in the game as he just struck out, but pinch hit for Brandon Barnes. It takes over for him in right field. And into the game here is Jose Veras. His 10th appearance, 0-1 with a 5.19 earned run average. Worked in 8 2/3 innings. Opponents hitting at .314 against Veras. Pitch in the dirt for ball 1 to Mike Napoli. Napoli has been on twice, a walk and a single. Hector Ambrose, who pitched the 7th inning, charged with 3 runs in the inning. Red Sox 4 hits and 3 runs off him in 1 inning. Swing and a miss, and it's a ball and a strike.
Kind of a herky-jerky motion here from Veras. Might be a little bit difficult, especially for right-handers to pick up. A lot of activity above the belt.
This one on the ground down the third baseline. Dominguez rounds in behind it. His throw is going to be dug out by Carter on the other side to retire Napoli for the first out of the inning. Well, no home runs have been hit in this game by the Red Sox, keeping their current season total at 23. With Hess and Hess Express donating $500 to the pediatric trauma program at Boston's Children's Hospital for every Sox home run. The 2013 total stands at $11,500. Our thanks to Hess and Hess Express, committed to helping the cause. 1 out in the 8th. And Johnny Gomes, who flied out to right field in the 7th inning. When he pinch hit for Mike Karp, he is 0 for 1, and he's already pitched in with a very nice catch out in left field last inning.
Don, I spoke to Johnny Gomes after that diving catch he made last night, and he said there's 2 L's in this game. There's leather and lumber. Hopefully you can try and bring both every day, but you definitely have to leave the yard with at least bringing one. It was nice to make that catch last night, and I'm sure he feels the same way today.
Swing and a miss this time as he strikes out on the breaking ball, and there are 2 outs in the 8th inning.
They're talking about that delivery from Veras, and that's a pretty nasty slider right there to Johnny Gomes. That head jerk, and then the breaking ball for the strikeout.
Well, he's got the first 2 outs here of the 8th inning as Jared Saltalamacchia is coming up. Salty has walked, struck out twice, and doubled. Fooled on the pitch, and it's 1-1.
First off-speed pitch that he's thrown, with the exception of the slider to Gomes, that looked like a split-fingered fastball. That fools Saltalamacchia.
Andrew Miller is plenty ready, and perhaps he will be pitching the 9th inning. Alex Wilson getting the final out of the 8th. And Ankiel to strike out. Ends up getting all the outs in the 8th. 2-1. There's a swing and a miss. Did he go? No, he did not, says third base umpire Jerry Meals.
A look from the side at the Saltalamacchia non-swing. Good call by Meals down at third base.
Two down in the 8th and a 3-2 pitch to Jared Saltalamacchia. Saltalamacchia sends one down the left field line, foul. In the air to shallow left as Martinez comes in. He's under and he puts it away to end the 8th. We head to the 9th. Red Sox on top 8-4. Red Sox have the lead as we head to the top half of the 9th inning at Fenway. And the Red Sox will use their 5th pitcher of the night as Andrew Miller checks in for his 10th game of the year. 0-1 with a 5.79 earned run average. 8 strikeouts to 6 walks, and opponents hitting at .235 against Miller. We'll stay with Nesson after the game for WB Mason Extra Innings Live. Hall of Famer Jim Rice will be in studio to help TC break down tonight's action, along with clubhouse reaction and John Farrell's post-game press conference. WB Mason Extra Innings Live. You can't go wrong when you buy right. WB Mason. Andrew Miller, his first pitch in there for strike one. Fernando Martinez, who pinch hit in the 7th inning and walked, gets his second at bat of the night. And late on that fastball, 0-2.
Fastball up in the zone at 93 miles an hour that time for Miller.
Martinez, Carter, and Pena expected to bat here for the Astros in the 9th. On the ground down the first baseline. This will stay foul. Broken bat as Miller's got to jump up over it, but Middlebrooks throws out the runner at first. I'm going to skip over that. Was Miller at the mound as the broken bat right back at the Red Sox pitcher.
Yeah, the fancy footwork certainly done by Andrew Miller on that play, because that barrel of the bat heading out in his direction. Ball goes to third base to Middlebrooks, but the bat right back up the middle. Pretty good reactions right there from Andrew Miller to get out of the way. Concentration by Middlebrooks on the baseball, gets the out at first base.
One out in the 9th inning as Chris Carter stands in. Carter has walked and struck out 3 times in the game. Down 0-2. Strike 3 call. 2 down in the 9th.
And it's 4 strikeouts in a row for Carter in this ball game as he just looks at a fastball on an 0-2 pitch right down the middle.
Leads the American League in strikeouts, adding to it tonight.
Had 39 coming in the game, add 4 to that.
2 down in the 9th. Carlos Pena pinch hitting in the 8th. He walked. Pinch hit for Ronnie Cedeno. Ball 1. Strike 2. Astros were down to their last strike with 2 outs here in the 9th. Outside for ball 2. This would better Felix Dubrant's record to 3-0 on the year. Away, and it's a full count. Did not miss by very much. if he did. The 3-2 pitch to Pena. He struck him out and the Red Sox win. Boston takes the first 3 games of this 4-game series against the Astros. And Andrew Miller finishes it off for the Red Sox as they win 8-4 tonight from Fenway Park. Another good night from Fenway as we send it to Tom Caron.